Good evening. In the news tonight, crews have closed a Vincennes road to replace a utility line. President Obama is stumping for his new jobs plan, and in sports, it appears the start of the NBA season may be in jeopardy. News Center 22 starts now.
Local news, weather, and sports. Produced through the combined efforts of the students, staff, and faculty of Vincennes University's electronic media program, this is News Center 22.
River Road in Vincennes is closed to traffic until Friday. Good evening for News Center 22. I'm Mitch Columbi. City officials announced this week that the road is closed between Willow and Schoolhouse Road. Vincennes Water Utilities General Manager Kirk Bushy says plans have changed significantly regarding the project to replace a pipe. He says price quotes to install a larger pipe underneath the French Commons came in about $500,000 too high. Instead, crews will do video inspections of the existing line to look for areas that need to be repaired to prevent any more problems. Bushy says the short-term repairs will get the city through another flood season and should only cost about $50,000. Some local residents, businesses, and nonprofit groups affected by storms and flooding earlier this year can now apply for low-interest disaster loans. The loans are available through the U.S. Small Business Administration. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security announced the availability of the loans Tuesday. The disaster declaration consists of 20 southern Indiana counties, including Gibson, Greene, Knox, and Pike counties. Loan information can be completed on the Small Business Administration's website at disasterloan.sba.gov. IU police are investigating a second rape. The Indiana Daily Student newspaper reports a 19-year-old student said she was raped Saturday at a frat house. Police Chief Keith Cash says investigators have the names of 2 suspects. Police say the case is unrelated to the rape reported on campus 2 weeks ago. Police say both suspects are IU students. The Indiana Attorney General says 5 more tort claims have been filed on behalf of victims of the staged State Fair collapse. 2 of the claims are on behalf of the estates of Christina Santiago and Jenny Haskell, both of whom died in the incident. Haskell's sister filed a claim for her own injuries, while the girl's parents filed a claim as a precursor to a wrongful death suit. The Haskell's claims are the first to list Sugar Land as the defendant in the case. The country band was the featured artist at the concert. The stage collapsed before their performance began. NATO soldiers are learning to work as a team right here in Indiana. It's part of a multinational training mission. The goal is to reduce the number of mistakes and injuries on the battlefield. Steve Jefferson talked with some of the soldiers about why this is so important.
Indiana soldier Scott Dye is training alongside soldiers from 13 other countries. The training centers around identifying friend or foe during combat.
Military technology is coming out, letting us try out their new equipment, letting us actually tell if it's friend or foe.
Camp Atterbury is host of Bold Quest 2011, a NATO ally soldier identification exercise. Soldiers from all over the world use lifelike situations to learn shoot or don't shoot.
This is a real-life scenario of what soldiers would experience in an Afghan village. Their decisions are a matter of life and death.
The soldiers are also cross-training on ground and air technology. Foreign soldiers learn to identify friendly U.S. soldiers from their aircraft, like this German C-160.
The technology we are demonstrating here should support the soldier in the decision while he's aiming on the enemy.
All the aids we can find to improve communication between nations is going to make us a better team.
Training also includes using high-tech simulators to identify homemade bombs and terrorist activities. Military leaders say when allied soldiers learn to keep each other safe.
Given the scenario that we've been thrown into, I think we did exceptionally well.
It keeps every American safe too.
The War Games will be going on until September 22nd. The nation's latest crop report predicts that Indiana's drought-stressed corn crop will see yields at about 20 bushels lower than in a normal year. A report released Monday by the U.S. Department of Agriculture forecasts that Indiana's average corn yield will be 145 bushels per acre this year, down 5 bushels from August's report. But that's 20 bushels below the 165 bushels of corn per acre Indiana farmers see in a year with average rain and temperatures. Indiana farmers were plagued by spring flooding that delayed the planting of corn, which was followed by summer of sweltering heat and drought conditions that continue to linger. Many Vincennes University students, faculty, and staff have stepped up today to help out the local animal shelter. Donations of money or pet food and litter were accepted today on the VU campus. The event was organized by the VU Residential Facilities. All money and items donated are going to the Vincennes Pet Port. Vincennes Mayor Al Baldwin has declared September as Pet Shelter Awareness Month in the city. Baldwin says the effort is a way to encourage donations to help the animal shelter make it through the winter months Anyone still interested in making a donation can do so by dropping it off at City Hall or at the Pet Port. The first September performance at Vincennes University's Red Skelton Performing Arts Center was held last night. The faculty of the VU Music Department presented a free recital for the public featuring vocal and instrumental performances. Tonight, the Skelton Center will feature a concert by classically trained vocalist Daryl London. Tickets for her performance cost $8 for adults and $5 for non-VU students and seniors. Still to come on News Center 22, President Obama is traveling the country in an effort to promote his new plan for job creation. We'll have the details, and the next time you go to book a flight online, you can look no further than Google. We'll explain more when we come back. Stay with us. President Barack Obama is pitching his new jobs plan to Americans. The president hit the road Tuesday trying to sell his plan to voters in Columbus, Ohio. Dan Lothian reports.
A good education has always been viewed as a pathway to a good job, but President Obama said investing in school buildings can also yield big rewards.
There are millions of unemployed construction workers who are looking for a job, so my question to Congress is, what on earth are we waiting for?
Fort Hays Arts and Academic High School in Columbus, Ohio is wrapping up a multi-million-dollar upgrade. The White House said this is an example of rehab projects that could take place at some 35,000 public schools across the country, putting hundreds of thousands of people back to work, all paid for by $25 billion in the president's jobs bill.
Every child deserves a great school, and we can give it to them.
It's an intense sales job by a White House that often deploys a less aggressive rollout and leaves the bill writing up to Congress. Not this time.
This is the bill that Congress needs to pass.
Driven by a sense of urgency, aides said, the president hit the road after delivering his job speech last week.
Let's pass this jobs bill right away.
His early targets, key swing states, Virginia, Ohio, and next, North Carolina.
There are no coincidences at this level of politics. There's a lot of strategy and surgical strikes. That's what the president's doing in Columbus today. It's what he did in Richmond last week.
But White House spokesman Jay Carney said this is not about the president's re-election campaign.
The reality is, as go the American people, so goes the members of Congress in this case. So we have to keep focusing everyone's attention on this because it's vitally important.
But Republicans who have expressed an openness to aspects of the president's proposals still see a huge roadblock: how to pay for it all.
The president knows raising taxes is the last thing you want to do to spur job creation. He said so himself. Yet that's basically all he's proposing here.
Senator McConnell says that the president's jobs bill is a political exercise, and he believes that it will have a tough time making its way through Congress. But the White House position is that now's the time to make some really tough choices, and they say the president will continue pushing for this bill, even taking another bus tour. Dan Lothian, CNN, Columbus.
Mark Amodei defeated Democrat Kate Marshall in yesterday's special election to replace former Congressman Dean Heller. Heller is replacing former Republican Senator John Ensign. Ensign resigned from the Senate in May after acknowledging an affair with a staffer's wife. Amodei won about 58% of the votes. He says he believes the current state of the economy is why he won the election.
I think any time that the economy's in trouble, take the first George Bush presidency, people pay more attention. And that old saying of people vote their pocketbooks, and I'm not saying that as a global thing, but as a general thing, people vote their pocketbooks and they're awful worried about where we're at economically and financially.
Nevada's 2nd congressional district has never been represented by a Democrat. If you're looking for a domestic flight, Google hopes you check it first instead of websites like Orbitz or Kayak. Google launched Flight Search Tuesday. It works 2 ways. You can conduct a regular Google search for flights from Atlanta to Las Vegas, and Flight Search creates a list. Or if you access Flight Search directly, you can enter your departure city and date, how much you want to pay, and how long you want to fly. The search engine will then show you where you can go within your parameters. This new feature comes out of Google's purchase of ITA, which is the world's largest airline search software company. Several travel sites tried to block that sale. The open road may soon be a little more lonely for truckers. The National Transportation Safety Board is recommending commercial truck drivers be banned from using mobile phones behind the wheel. The recommendation includes handheld and hands-free phones. It could affect millions of truckers. While the board can only make suggestions, its actions often lead to state and federal laws. Kids are asking to get connected at a younger and younger age, but what should parents know before they buy their tween or teen their first mobile phone? Karen Kafa has tips in today's Consumer Watch.
In an increasingly wireless world, it's happening more often. Tweens younger than 13 asking for their own mobile phones. The National Consumers League recommends parents asking some questions first.
Number one, why does your kid need a cell phone? Do they even need it at all? What would they use it for? What's the budget that you want to set and how much you actually want to spend on this phone?
If you decide your tween is ready, set that monthly budget and consequences for any overage fees. Put limits on extras like ringtones, apps, and games. Have a talk about things like sexting and cyberbullying, and discuss distractions. Make sure they know not to talk or text while biking or even crossing streets. When shopping for the right phone and plan, ask about some key tools. Purchase blockers and content filters can limit what's downloaded. Usage restrictions can put a cap on texts or calls and limit when the phone is used. And even after the phone is purchased, keep the line of communication with your tween open.
This is all part of a conversation that you should have with your tween, and it's something that they're going to have to develop as far as a way to manage their own costs as they get older.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, after teasing us for most of the morning, Mother Nature finally let some rain fall this afternoon. Danny Taborn joins us now to let us know if the rain is expected to continue. Danny?
Our greatest chance for rain continues tonight, Mitch, before the sunshine is expected to return tomorrow. I'll have a look at our complete forecast when we come back.